lot of students may understand what I mean when I say that high school is often the beginning of the road to academic burnout. School begins to feel tedious, and while our classes increase in difficulty, so do the pressures of trying to catch up to others in the race for college applications. Naturally, in our modern world, we try to find shortcuts. I'm sure you all have seen online flashcards, step-by-step video tutorials, and nearly endless more resources in the sea of the internet that we can use to cut down on our workload. Yet, despite all of that, the most common solution has been the usage of AI technology. Its single, simple interface requires very little effort to get the information you need and can generate information for you in just 30 seconds or less, a feature seemingly perfect for a bunch of stressed-out teenagers. Now, with all of its perks, AI is no longer just a tool, but also an addiction, one that admittedly I also found myself falling into. It was the summer after my junior year, amidst the craziness of college applications, that I realized how little I had learned as a result of this. So I began my application process by drafting out ideas and views for my essays. This process felt almost never ending, especially with the pressure that came into trying to get into my dream school. I'm a first-generation student from Azerbaijan, and for us, education is a really big deal, especially for a girl. The pressure was on when it came to trying to fulfill both the expectations of my family, but then also fulfill a legacy for girls and Azerbaijani youth that didn't have the same opportunities as I did. Now, despite that pressure, my heritage also provided me with a unique perspective. I grew up experiencing two worlds that completely shaped me as a person, but also provided the perfect ground base for a college essay that was entirely unique to me. So the struggle didn't come from not having a story, because truthfully, I actually had an entire story to tell. One that was specific to my experiences living as an Azerbaijani American and how that shaped me as a person. The real struggle? The process of creativity. And just a few months before writing those essays, I asked AI, publish this essay or give me ideas to write about for my classwork. And now the idea of sitting down and synthesizing an essay on my own felt almost impossible, clouded behind what I and a lot of students call brain fog. When AI spit back an idea that I liked, I began writing. Every paragraph I wrote, I ran through AI tools, partially because of my own self-consciousness. Grammatical errors were obvious mistakes, but as the program continued to feed me its own interpretations of my writing, my own voice was almost entirely filtered out of the finished product. There was so much for me to talk about my heritage and how that shaped me, yet that experience was put through a generator that gave me generic and statistically successful approaches to my essay, despite my original experiences actually being written in a way that was honest to my life and what I went through. My friends and I often met up to read each other's essays. It was a time for us to not only get over our college anxieties, but also to give each other honest feedback about our work. Now, all of us in this group came from diverse backgrounds, whether that be different countries of origin, different religions, or even just entirely different areas of study. So it was ironic that despite all of our diverse experiences, we all sounded exactly the same. We all used the same 5-paragraph structure, the same usage of transitions, even the same use of em dashes that we would have otherwise never have thought to have used. According to the Pew Research Center, 2/3 of US teens have self-reported using AI technology. That means that 2/3 of US teens are feeding AI data that it then uses to dictate its responses and spit right back at us. The tragedy here was that my essay was being fed the same general ideas and structures as almost everyone else that used it. Eventually, this epiphany spread to my friends as well. We were all future businesswomen, doctors, diplomats, jobs that required creativity and analytical thinking, and yet despite that, we used a platform that did that for us, almost entirely out of our own laziness. Now at this point, it wasn't AI that was entirely at fault here. There was an internal battle, one that we never realized we were fighting. We had this responsibility to learn, but now we were making this robot do all that work for us. My friends and I made an agreement. We were going to fight the AI brain fog that cluttered our thinking, but most importantly, we were going to take back control of our minds. I developed a new plan on how I wanted to approach my writing. Instead of opening up AI chatbots, I opened up a book. I was not referencing a source that wrote because they had something they wanted to express, a will and a discipline to actually sit down and work through the process of thinking. Their passion helps me see the face behind the letters, especially since they were from a time before AI, when the only choice that they had was to sit down and work through that raw process of thinking. Writing is hard, so is learning, analyzing, innovating, creating, and many other skills. Yet they are essential. They are vital to our success, both in our jobs, but then also in our capability as people. Rewriting my college essays was hard, but it enlightened me to just how much I can learn, and also the quality of what I can create. I can bring back my senses, my feelings, my experiences into my work, and I can finally let my passion guide me. These writers could write work that was honest and vibrant, and considering they were from a time before AI, it makes it clear to us that the decline in creativity and critical thinking is really now a responsibility we have to face as individuals. As students, educators, parents, and people, it's our turn to progress humanity. So, as many of the students in this room prepare for their next big step, whether that be college, internships, jobs, face it head on. Develop the skills, work through the problems on your own. Bring back creativity and critical thinking without the cognitive offloading, and embrace your humanity. Technology isn't the only way that we can steer our future. We live in an age where innovation is right at the palm of our hands. So I implore you, don't forget about some of the greatest innovations of all. Human creativity, human ambition, and most importantly, human passion. Thank you.